Tesla's second quarter deliveries came in above expectations. The EV giant revealing the numbers just moments ago. Joining us now is Bloomberg Technology co-host Ed Ludlow out of San Francisco. So Ed, beating by what, 3, 4, 5,000 in terms of deliveries. What's the story?
Yeah, it's a beat and some relief in the stock relative to street expectations. It's important to note that even though deliveries beat, it's still a decline year on year of about 5%, I think 4.8%. And you could also look at the production level being markedly lower than in the same quarter a year ago. What I find really interesting, Matt, is that I was in New York City for the first quarter numbers, you might remember, where the release had so much detail about the factors that were impacting Tesla in the first 3 months of the year. But in this release for the second 3-month period, there is no commentary at all, which is interesting. You know, it's a considered omission. But we did hear quite a lot from Elon Musk on the last earnings call, of course, about the factors that are impacting both demand, but also operationally and supply right now.
I haven't, looked into the detail in a long time, Ed. And of course, you cover this company very closely. But to me, it was surprising that almost all of the vehicles they sold were Model 3 and Model Y. Do they not even sell the S and the X anymore? I mean, it looks like, what, 20,000 of those more expensive models, and the other 420,000 were 3 and Y?
Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk and other Tesla executives have been honest that they largely still make the S and X for sentimental reasons. It is not a volume product. You know, the plaid version, the rethink that they did in the latest generation, it's an expensive and premium product. And there's equal surprise when those less familiar with Tesla also hear the Model Y is technically the best-selling vehicle model in the world.
In the world. That bears repeating,
right,
Ed, because I did not know that, and I look at cars all the time. So is it, I mean, I would expect the Toyota Camry, the Ford F-150, like the Honda Civic. The Model Y outsells all of those other single models.
It does, and those other examples you noted, well, I would say with Model Y is its uniformity across different geographies. It sells well in the United States, China, and in continental Europe as it stands, where, as you know from experience, there's a bias towards smaller form factor vehicles. I'd also say let's look at what's happening in the China market specifically, because we also got data from China's Passenger Car Association, which showed in the month of June, not the full second quarter, but June, a pretty significant drop in output from the Shanghai factory and also deliveries domestically. And so Tesla is not doing so well in China at this moment in time, but those domestic players, NIO, Li Auto, etc., they're pushing new records. BYD, of course, did very well. And one of those factors that Elon Musk talked about, apart from domestic competition in China, is this admission that Tesla is now directly competing with hybrids, that consumers, when faced with a choice right now in different markets, are opting for hybrids, which I find is really interesting, because we've changed our psychology about EV buying in the market completely from, say, a year ago.
Well, I've always thought hybrids are the way forward. It just gives you more optionality as a driver. In terms of, product, Ed, the Cybertruck, as exciting as it may be, they're not selling that in volume. As you said, the Model S and the Model X are just kept around for sentimental reasons, also not big sellers. So it's all about the 3 and the Y, and they still have had a decline in sales. I mean, sales are down 5% year over year. That's not great for a company that wants to be a growth story. What else do they have in the pipeline?
And also noting, I just reiterate, the production is also, down relatively significantly to the same period a year ago. A lot of the sell-siders, for what it's worth, basically say that the lineup is stale if you strip out Cybertruck, which is still ramping. Model Y is the best-selling product model in the world, but it's now relatively old. There's not been a refresh or a new model. Of course, on August 8th, we will get a glimpse of Robotaxi. And during Investor Day, you see the PowerPoints with yet to be unveiled models under canvas. So there's a belief that new models are coming. My own reporting is that they will take the work they did on a $25,000 EV and apply the R&D, the technology breakthroughs, to refreshing the Model Y and Model 3 in particular, lower spec, maybe single motor variants. But that's the argument that the industry analysts make, that Tesla would do well if they introduce more models at a more regular cadence.